Oh shit, we're live.
We're live.
Hey!
It's happening right now. So
We're gonna do the.
what happened? No, we're going. I think we're going.
Clack it. Okay. Hi.
Hey. Didn't think this one was gonna happen.
Why not?
Technical difficulties though.
Was it technical difficulties or was it technically difficult?
Don't they go
No.
kind of hand
One
in
is
hand?
one and one is the other.
One is one and one is the
Yeah.
So what else?
Yeah. You got your. Okay. You don't want to see people to see you pouring that disgusting swill that you're drinking.
You couldn't do that before we went on live?
I was trying to figure this out. You were over there.
I was on my mark on time.
Just sitting there. I got all this to operate.
Good job.
And here we are.
I'm just going over here to make sure that we're.
Gwyn, say hi.
Hi.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Feed the Dog. Tonight's guest, Gwyn, please sign in and tell us all who you are and what you're doing here.
Oh, I'm doing here because he asked me to be here 3 hours ago.
3 hours.
Good answer!
3 hours ago.
Honest!
I'm planning ahead. That's what I do.
3 hours.
That's what I do. I plan ahead.
3 hours ago.
Well, you could go a little more in depth with that.
Oh, how in depth?
Why don't you tell us how you're connected to us?
How about this?
Or Jimmy?
A little bit of introduction.
Go ahead.
Roller derby coach and roller derby
Yeah.
person?
Yeah.
Is that the right way to say it?
Yep, former.
Former?
Yep.
Photographer extraordinaire.
Uh-huh.
And then it brings to, well, she got the phone call 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
You can fill that in.
So Gwen's the haunt mom, officially.
A haunt mom.
Yeah, she's a haunt mom.
What's the definition of a haunt mom?
So, it's a nice way of saying human resources. It makes the person feel better about having to do all the shit work with the employees. I mean,
Shit work? You say shit or shift?
the absolutely necessary role of dealing with actors and
The day-to-day
all of the stuff.
Oh, you mean like wrangling people like you?
Yeah. All the stuff that I don't have the cognitive capacity to do, like remember names.
Eric. I mean, Bill.
That's
Right,
good.
you
Good thing you have.
bathtub girl,
That's not far off.
bathtub girl, big guy with knife.
Yeah, that goes a long way for HR stuff, doesn't it?
No, haunt mom is she's
Is there a real definition?
that
for
is
haunt mom?
an
is.
actual thing. Yeah. So like, look at it this way. You have Nathan and myself going apeshit crazy because things break and things got to get fixed and we got to run around and all this stuff. And then you have actors, and we're 50 plus this year on cast, who all have concerns, questions, complaints, ideas, all these kinds of things. And as much as we would love to be 100% available to field
and every one of them.
field all of these questions and,
It all falls down
deal
in line.
directly with every. Gwyn is like a bouncer.
So it's a year-round role.
Yeah, Gwen's like
Year
a
round.
bouncer.
Year
so,
round.
So still from November to
Yeah.
Yeah.
to September.
November,
still-
November to November. Let's just put that because there's recruiting phase, getting to know people, and once you get them, it's like a sense of family we build, and then you just keep in touch with them, and then like family members bring their friends with us, and they become family members.
Family.
So it could be HR related, which on the back end it is, but this is really all about just being mom and making sure everybody is okay, and there's a sense of community there because haunting
it's-
kind of is a.
Because it's all about the community.
You know what?
You know what?
Really, you're gonna mock me on that.
For me, it's all about the chick. I mean, community.
I expected
Community
better.
of chicks.
I expected better out of you. I really did.
You've known him long enough. You should not have those expectations.
You know what I've realized in my life?
What's that?
Expectations, honestly. And I've been starting to explain this because I want feedback on this. Expectations are actually the root of all. It's not even money. Expectations
Yeah.
are where the problem is.
You can have unexpected expectations. So as a photographer, I find that all the time, especially when I'm doing high event photography, like with expectations. As a photographer,
Sorry,
I find
my bad.
that all the
Let's
time.
move.
It's alright,
Especially when I'm
just doing the thing.
high event photography.
Why don't you turn it off?
I'm gonna. Alright.
On the X. The X. The volume. How about mute?
Why don't I just do that?
Any of this
I'll
will work.
just do that. I just want to make sure we're
Yet they break my rocks. They break my rocks about, yeah.
It's a volume. I just always have the volume issue.
I think it's more than that. But anyway, expectations. Expectations are the worst. Like, if I had expectations of Sid paying attention and being a part of what's going on instead of off doing his own shit, then we wouldn't have had that.
I was here.
Interruption to Gwen.
I was here.
She was explaining something.
I know, and I was listening.
And you weren't listening because you were
I was
involved in
listening.
doing stupid shit.
All right, I'm sorry. I apologize to all of you and our guests and Jimmy and Tim.
Thank you.
Don't forget about Tim.
Oh, we never forget about that. How about that, Baron?
See right there. This is volume thing.
Yeah, it should be on 0 or muted, but you should be engaging in what's going on.
I was, but I was multitasking.
It's a problem.
I was multitasking.
It's a problem.
So yes, so episode 53.
Episode
Wait, no, 54.
54. It's
54.
episode 50. Season 2.
Season 2,
Episode 2. So 2 and 2.
Or-
I keep looking there. It's 2
or-
and 2.
or 54.
Episode or a total 54. Episode
Number
54. Number 54. Car 54. Where are you?
I don't know, but there's a whole bit of Bronx. You didn't think I knew that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Do you know the next line?
No.
So
Would you like to pick up where you before you got really interrupted by
No.
Sid
I
and
would-
his antics?
Because that would mean I would have an expectation. So why don't you just go forward?
So basically, if you don't
Expectations.
So basically, if you don't have
Thank you.
expectations, you can never be disappointed.
And you never get butthurt. You never get angry.
Right.
Never hold a grudge.
Right.
Life is better if you can eliminate expectations.
But then, how do you grow as a person if you never have expectations?
Oh, that's
How
where
do
you call
expecta- how do
that's a
expectations-
different word. That's called goal setting.
Yeah, how do
But-
expectations? No. You can have expectations of yourself, realistic expectations of yourself. Having expectations of yourself is just wanting to grow. But having expectations of other people, that's what I was trying. What
Jimmy, have you written your SMART goals recently?
I have not.
Is that a thing?
It is.
I have not. I have not.
You want some Gardettos?
No, I'm good right now.
You sure? Not a sponsor.
Better get it quick because Jimmy eats all the pretzels.
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, the pretzels are the best.
Oh, actually, I like these better. You
The
can have
rat
your-
chips.
Yeah.
So, as we are, wait, we didn't mention our friends up north.
You want to do it? Or you want me to do it?
Who are your friends
Go
up
ahead.
north?
Our friends up north.
Our good friends.
Good
up north.
friends up
They're-
north.
and they really are cool people.
No, seriously, super cool people. Kim and John.
Kim and John.
They run this little joint up north called White Winter Winery. And we unfortunately tonight
We're out.
we're out. So our shipment hasn't come in yet. But we usually.
So how are we drinking a bit of the hard stuff tonight?
Do we have any bottles? Oh, here we go.
There's a bottle.
This is probably last week's bottle. Is it raspberry? Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week's bottle of raspberry. White Winter Winery. So, what you want to do, go to whitewinter.com, make an order, and then put in promo code.
Oh, promo code feed the dog. One word.
See? Expectations.
I was addressing the set.
Expectations. So, promo code what?
Feed the dog.
Feed the dog.
One word.
One word.
One word.
And you get a little bit of a break on a
How big a break?
15%.
15%.
15%.
On your whole order?
The whole order, no matter what you order, wine, spirits, mead, whatever you order, you will receive at the end.
Meat is wine. Dumbass.
Expectations.
I expect to meet them soon. When can I do that?
Oh, we do have to get up there before the snow, before Old Man Winter sets in.
Yeah, because last time we went up there in February, it sucked.
Sucked. You should have seen it. Oh, man. Traversing this parking lot. Anyway, real quick. Whitewinter.com. Promo code Feed the Dog at the end of your order. 15% discount.
15.
15.
Yeah,
I said.
I know. I was just clarifying.
Kim and John, you rock. Thank you very much for everything you do for us.
Kim and John.
Now, traversing this parking lot.
Yeah, but that wasn't White Winter's fault.
No, that was none of it was their fault.
No. I mean, we were probably a little buzzed coming.
If you want to talk about what they did, they rolled out the red carpet for us. It was absolutely amazing, and they're just cool people, and treated us
I made a double pretzel.
fantastically. You know, we're expectations.
So-
Namaste.
Being the middle of October, as it is haunt season in the West,
As our scores of viewers well know
Because-
that we are.
other parts of the world do not have the pleasure of Halloween, of the Halloween season. Probably don't even have pumpkin spice lattes.
That wouldn't be a bad thing.
I mean, there is a Starbucks on every single corner, but
Are you a fan of pumpkin spice?
Fuck no.
oh,
I win.
you made a triple.
Do you like pumpkin spice?
I don't. I barely like pumpkin pie.
Oh, really? See, I like pumpkin pie. I'm just not a fan of pumpkin
I want
spice.
to hear you say pumpkin again.
She heard it.
Go
ahead, hey, I'm over here. Hey, this Jimmy, I'm gonna get over here and get myself a nice big pumpkin pie. I like,
Imitation is the
I
highest.
like a
form
little
of
bit of whooping cream on there.
Uh,
A little bit of whooping cream on the pumpkin pie.
whip.
He doesn't say it that way. Whooping.
I'll say it like that.
No, you're in the
Whooping.
Midwest.
I don't
You
call
gotta
it
say that way
whipping
now.
cream either.
You do when I do the impressions.
Jimmy, would you like to?
He doesn't do impressions.
I can't do impression. I can do a guy from New York.
Here's my impression of Jimmy. My impression of Jimmy is he's not really going anywhere in his life right now. He's kind of stagnated. He's got a nice place. He's got a good life, but he's not really pushing himself. This is my impression of you.
Boom. Boom. That's a harsh joke.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
I
I'm just.
expected better.
I
A little too
see,
much honesty in that
expectations. Tonight is the night of
We're gonna be
expectations.
talking after the
I
show.
am releasing expectations because
Or is that just suspending disbelief?
Get a little hot in here. Hey. Can we get back?
just
Can we
narrow-minded.
kind of steer back towards the topic?
sure. What do you want to talk about, Sid?
What scares you, Jimmy?
I'm scared from ghosts.
Quadrupeds.
Dogs. So without going into like a whole big thing about Halloween and scary things, we'll just jump ahead to the scary things. Because we could go through the whole like All Hallows Eve and things and why we got from there to here and the witches and all that kind of crap. But I think it'd be more fun just to jump ahead to the scary stuff. Because it's the middle of
I
October.
didn't expect anything less.
That would be a whole nother show. It's the middle of October.
So
Haunted house is a big thing.
Well, why do people go to haunted houses?
Here is my
Theory?
theory on fear. When you sit and watch a horror movie and the hockey mask is coming, the bucket's being pulled up, and all the fingernails in the wall, and the heart starts pumping. When you make it through the movie at the end and the lights come on up, you get this like, survive. Because the dopamine rush that you get from the adrenaline and dopamine rush that you get from being afraid is, God, it's like 400 times better than just your basic like, oh, I just finished a marathon or. Oh.
Is it really?
For me, it is.
Okay, so it's not a statistic thing. It's not a study.
But
that's
it's a
been done.
different-
This is just your specific, your personal hypotheses.
There are scientific physiological responses to fear.
Scientific and physiological.
There-
Smart people talking. Go. Let's just listen.
Can you
So-
do it? Leave your screen alone.
Hey,
Shut up.
I have expectations that I need to talk slow for you, so just kind of go with this.
Gwen's also an educator. She used to dealing with children, so she knows how to handle this. Go
I still
ahead.
have a science degree.
I bet she has treats. Do you have treats in your pocket? Oh.
Okay. Okay. Listen to smart people now.
When you have a fear response, your amygdala, which is a part in your brain.
Where's it located back here?
That's the big gray thing in your skull.
No, that's called gray matter.
So you don't even know. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Your amygdala sends out a response and your neurons respond to that, and that's where you can have your fight or flight. There's also a version where you could just freeze, like sleep.
Is it like the hair standing up on the back of your neck? Is that the fight or flight thing?
That's part of it. Yep, and then it goes into the hippocampus or the hypothalamus. It's one of those two. The hypothalamus. So you've got adrenaline, cortisol kicking in. But here's also something else. You ever wonder why in like movies or people talking about they get like turned on by fear? It's because you get an actual burst of estrogen and testosterone. And so that's one way to release it is to have sex.
See what I say? It's about the chicks.
I don't know where to do this, man. I really don't.
But if you think about it, subjecting yourself to a horror movie or, say, a haunted house, you're taking yourself out of your normal safe space of life and putting yourself in another safe and restricted scenario of like the haunted house to experience that fear because you know that it's not
Truly life-threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was going with it.
Okay, but okay. Truth be told, I can't stand that shit. Spirit world freaks me the fuck
Well,
out.
we're talking
Okay, hold on.
no,
No, please. I'm trying to explain something here. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just trying to get this out. I'm scared shitless. Like I've seen Carrie, 2:00 in the afternoon on a USA Network, and it gave me nightmares. Like I had like I see shit. But walking through the haunted house, I don't have that problem.
Hey, speaking of Carrie, Piper Laurie just died.
Suzanne Summers just died.
We didn't do that part, but Suzanne Summers.
Yeah. We're getting old, man. Three's Company. So anyway, I don't get freaked out as much. I mean, yeah, I get scared at haunted houses. I mean, it haunts.
You get startled and spooked.
But when it comes to spirit world, it's too real for you.
Yeah, man. The spirit world freaks me. I mean, seriously, the spirit world freaks me. Like, I don't even watch scary movies. I don't get into that.
Do you remember
I go to the haunted house because it's your world, man, and I get involved with that because it's your world. But watching a scary movie, ask Judd, ask Bridget, ask. No way, Jose. I'm not doing it. I don't F with the spirit world, man. So somebody like brings out like a Ouija board and get them. No way, Jose.
But that's so. How do you between the spirit world? How do you watch a horror movie?
It freaks me out.
And it freaks. I mean, you know that Carrie's not like really gonna like lift your knives out of your door, right?
I know, and I'm watching it 2:00 in the afternoon on a friggin' Sunday on USA Network.
Okay, watching Teletubbies at 2 in the afternoon is way
Teletubbies
scarier.
freak me the fuck out.
Yeah, way scarier.
That would be part of that whole like hippocampus thing, the fight or flight.
Would that be like more imaginary? Like my imagination is running away with me with the movies, and in real life it's different?
No, I think it's more like once upon a time we were just smart little mammals running around in the rocks, trying to not be eaten by large predators.
Fight or flight is really a deep-seated.
That has nothing to do with it.
It totally does.
It's deep-seated hereditary inner genes.
Hereditary. See that? Big word.
My family's into scary movies. I'm not into it, man.
No, we were talking about the fear response.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, you're totally going into like the woo-woo psychic world. That's
Yeah. Trips me out, man.
not that.
I don't like ghosts. They scare me.
Wow, this could be a whole
I don't like
episode.
ghosts.
Ghosts,
That was a bad one.
shades,
I'm sorry, I didn't do that.
We all
echoes,
did a terrible
residuals. Yeah, it's a whole nother.
I'm not into that, man.
Do you remember the first horror movie you saw?
Honestly, I think it was like Carrie or Amityville Horror. Carrie, Amityville Horror, or it wasn't The Shining. I know that. What's the?
Salem's Lot.
No, that's Salem's Lot. My mom was really into
Stephen King.
Amityville Horror. Like she read the books and she did.
Oh, true story.
And it was in New York. And I remember being a kid. I remember my mom reading the book when we were driving down the street. Not with her driving.
She wasn't like.
Yeah, no. So I remember that. So I don't know. But Jaws isn't it considered a horror movie? Like,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
well, see, here's the thing about
Is it
horror
really?
movies. Yeah, but you got.
What about Cocaine Bear? Would that be a horror movie?
That's an
That would be a horror-
expectation that's disappointing.
Technically, that would be a horror comedy.
Agreed.
That would be a horror comedy.
Okay, so like Sharknado. Love Sharknado.
Sharknado
Love
also-
all the Sharknados, man.
Sharknado
I would
had a-
love to be in a Sharknado.
You know what I saw an ad for today? Cocaine Shark.
I think I've seen that. already.
Seriously.
I think
I
I've
saw
seen
that
that.
too.
already.
Next season will be Cocaine Sharknado. After that,
Wow.
Cocaine Sharkaconda-nado.
Sharkaconda.
So,
Oh god.
do you remember how old you were though when you saw your first horror movie?
I'm thinking about that. I'm trying to remember. I think it was something with Amityville Horror. There was another movie. My parents, man. My dad used to sit down in front of the TV.
That's what I want to know. How old you? Do you remember how old?
Yeah, I'm
you
trying to put myself in that place. And for some reason,
The gray matter is working overtime.
it is. It's trying to
Probably that fucking swampy swill you're drinking.
Yeah,
Man.
don't worry about what
Let's
I'm
see if you can
drinking.
multitask.
You want some of this?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, what do you want then?
The stuff that's behind
A bottle and a bottle opener.
you. The
Probably.
can.
I got a can right
Yeah,
here.
the can. Okay.
Oh no, I'm handing you the glass. So you can pour it right.
You can pour it.
Oh. Bud Light, not a sponsor.
Thank you.
Certainly not.
You're welcome. Anyway, I think I was about 8.
About 8. Okay, so
About 8.
now, let's say you watch Carrie when you're 8 years old. Let's just assume that it was Carrie.
That's a fair assumption.
You're 8 years old, you watch Carrie. As an 8-year-old, scares the hell out of you.
How's that, huh?
I see better heads on boils. Hey! As an 8-year-old, Carrie scares the hell out of you. Then you watch it later, how much of that is remembering how scared you were the first time?
Say that again, what?
You watch Carrie at 8 years old. Now you're 53, and you watch Carrie again. Do you how much of that fear
Comes back again?
is because you remember watching it at 8 years old?
Oh, isn't that's psychological shit there.
I will tell you, and then Gwen's going to be
Interject.
smart. Be smart some more.
Be smart somewhere.
The first horror movie that I saw, that I can remember seeing, was The Elephant Man. No! Elephant Man, not a horror movie, you say. Let me tell you. Do you remember the movie Time Bandits?
Fidget's my favorite.
Fidget, stop eating! Okay,
He's my favorite.
check it out. Earlier,
Sean Connery's in that.
yes. To be with your own mother and father. I'm Egyptian, can't you tell? No, I'm from Syria. Anyway, prior to seeing The Elephant Man, Dad took me to see Time Bandits in the theater. Great movie, awesome. Return the map, right? Second favorite devil character ever. Now,
Have you ever seen Time Bandits?
you really should. Terry
Yeah.
Gilliam movie. Oh my God.
Early
You really
80s,
should.
early
Put it on the
80s.
list. Put it on the list.
Yeah,
Anyway,
put it on the list.
very small. See Time Bandits in theater. Go home. Watch Elephant Man with Mom, who's watching the story of the Elephant Man. Now, if you remember in Time Bandits, remember how they traveled? Like the blue door would open up above and like let's like fall out of the ceiling. For weeks I had this reoccurring nightmare of a blue door opening above my bed and the fucking Elephant Man dropping out of it. I shit you not. First horror movie experience.
On a subconscious level, I believe.
Wow.
Right?
How old were you?
I couldn't tell you for sure. Very young, because it was, again, early 80s.
Before you're 6?
I would say probably yes, before I was 6.
Oh, wow.
So, if you could tell me when, what was your first horror movie experience? Do you remember?
Oh, very fondly.
Lay it on me.
Well, my parents, my mom wanted to see Aliens so bad.
The second one.
No, the first one, Aliens.
Alien. Second one is Aliens.
Okay, so when did that come out? 79, 78?
Around
there?
Sounds about right.
Okay, so I was about 8, 9-ish. So my dad and mom took my sister and I. My sister's 3 years my junior.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a long line getting into the theater, and they were having people exiting by us, and people were seeing my parents with us, and they were berating my parents, saying, "You cannot take your little kids into this movie."
Oh, it was Karen's.
So,
Before such
but
a
my
thing.
mom wanted to see it so badly,
Pretty Karen.
and they couldn't find a babysitter, so they just took us. And I remember my dad sitting in the middle, me on one side, my sister on the other, and you know that part where it goes whoosh. He like put our heads up in there. And I remember peeling his hand around, like watching it, going, whoa. And I had really, I think I finally looked back on that, going, I think I was disturbed at that age. So it didn't bother me.
That's how I seen Saturday Night Fever the first time. My parents.
Your dad holding your head?
No. My parents made us lay down in the back seat of the car.
Drive in.
Yes,
Go to
that's how I
sleep.
saw it.
Go to sleep. They took us to see some kid flick. I don't remember what it was. Actually,
Let's go to the kitchen.
I don't remember what it was, but it was a drive-in, and then they had a little bit of an intermission.
Go to the
Lobby.
Lobby, yeah. But this was a drive-in.
Yeah.
And they made us go to sleep in the back seat of the car, my sister and I. And
I have a
That's how I saw
vague.
Saturday Night Live too, or Saturday Night Fever.
I have a vague memory of drive-ins. Tim wasn't even born, but I have a vague memory of drive-ins in New Mexico.
huh?
So
Was the Wraith there?
in the oh,
Stumped you,
nice.
didn't I?
Good
Fucking
job.
So the other horror
Oh,
movie,
man.
the only
Tim, he just pulled a movie reference. I said New Mexico, and he said The Wraith. See what he did there? I think we're rubbing off on him.
Good callback. Good movie. Awesome car.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Part Fiero, part.
No, it was a Porsche.
That was on Porsche.
It was Porsche. It was a turbo.
No, sir.
Yeah, it was. He said so at the end of the movie. Porsche Turbo.
No, had too much body work on it. Go ahead.
You go right ahead. And I'm gonna go over here and prove Jimmy wrong, but you go right ahead.
So as a young, maybe 10, 11, 12, they parents left, and we were watching TV, and Frighteners came on. Remember
The
movie
Michael J.
Frighteners?
Fox movie?
Yeah, Frighteners.
That ain't scary.
No, but think about it. I'm like 10, 11, 12, around that age, and the walls are moving. And
Yep.
I know that we're basically not allowed to watch anything scary, but it's like on TV or whatever. And the neighbor kids ended up wrapping themselves up in Christmas lights and had plugged themselves into our house. And they're banging on the wall as we're watching this movie, and we flip out. And then the kid left him, and he starts running, except he's still like tangled up in Christmas lights. So I was scared for a brief moment until
Your
I
neighbors
realized.
wrapped themselves in Christmas lights?
I think it was
to
all
torment you?
coincidence. It had nothing to do with them knowing we were watching this Frighteners
Okay.
movie. They were playing a joke on us, and it all came together in a perfect storm.
That's fucked up.
Well,
I would be afraid of Christmas lights now if that happened to me.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I got
Me-
Christmas lights with shotgun shells.
I gotta say, Jimmy, I gotta apologize. You were correct. It was not a Porsche.
Thank you very much.
It was a Dodge concept car.
Yes.
Called the Turbo Interceptor.
Yeah, and it looked like I made a mistake saying it looked like a Fiero, but it looked like the old Dodge Chargers when they
With a body kit on it.
hatchbacks,
Yeah, with a body kit on it. So there you go. Sorry, the race car was a Dodge prototype Turbo Interceptor.
Fair.
Yeah.
So now, as an adult, what movies scare you?
I don't know that I would say.
Teen pregnancy.
Is that a movie?
No, I'm thinking about being if you're a dad.
That's a little close to reality.
That would terrify me. Yes. Yes.
Oh God, I gotta go call my daughter.
My fears
Simply
are
because-
a little more abstract these
Simply
days.
because of expectations.
See what you did there? That's what's known in the showbiz as a callback.
yes. Expectations are the root of all evil. I figured that. I think I cracked that nut.
I don't.
So your EXP is not experience anymore; it's expectations.
I don't think I.
Thank you.
I don't think I remember the last horror movie that I saw that scared me.
Okay, and to be fair, I can watch like chop 'em up movies kind of things.
You know.
It's a spiritual shit, man. It just gets me.
Oh. So Jimmy is more afraid of the metaphysical.
Yeah. No. I thought I made that clear.
Yeah, no. But you just before you just said horror movies. Now we're kind of zeroing in.
Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Well,
I didn't have an expectation that any of them were
Okay.
listening, but apparently Gwen was. Thank you, Gwen.
But the movie Carrie has really nothing to do with the spirit world.
Yeah, man, she's possessed, bro.
She's not possessed. She's telekinetic.
Look, man, it's all the same shit to me.
She's a misunderstood youth. That was the whole point of the movie. See,
She was just a pyromaniac.
what you're missing, and part of what I love about good horror movies, and I love slasher films, all that stuff, but what I really love about horror films is the metaphors. You have to take into account when they were made and who the audience is.
And what was funny in pop culture at that time.
Exactly.
All right, so explain it using Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space is just a silly ass movie because clowns are creepy.
I wouldn't waste my time watching it.
You should. It's a great film. Because coulrophobia is a real thing.
I'm not afraid of clowns, though.
But if you were, you'd be coulrophobic.
If I was, I would be.
Yeah. So,
But I'm not.
Killer Clowns
So
from
I'm
Outer.
gotta be.
I don't know that Killer Clowns from Outer Space would be a horror comedy.
I'm pretty sure I've seen some of it sometime or another.
Yeah, where they turn people into big things of cotton candy,
Yeah. On HBO.
silly straw. Coulrophobia is fucking awesome, dude.
So where would you put things like Videodrome?
Videodrome,
'Cause that's pretty flippy.
which, by the way, is one of the most overrated fucking horror films ever.
Would Tron be a horror flick?
Tron is not a horror film.
What about Star Wars?
Star Wars is not a horror film.
All them fucking creatures in there, man.
Science fiction.
But they maybe science fiction horror because they got all them fucking creepy things in there.
Yeah. You know better than that.
I do know better. I'm just trying to figure out.
I
where
always
you
thought
are.
I always felt that Videodrome was overrated because it's one of those movies that
You know better.
a group of people were like, oh, you haven't seen Videodrome. Oh my god, how can you be a horror fan and not have seen Videodrome? Oh my god, it's so the quintessential horror film. That's how they talk.
Is it?
Yeah. I always thought it was overrated. But Videodrome, of course, is a statement about media and propaganda and what you believe to be reality, and as opposed to what actually is, and drugs and society. There's all kinds of shit going on in Videodrome. You don't think so?
Oh, there is.
Yeah. You don't think it's overrated?
I think it gets your brain juices thinking about all those aspects and the psychology behind what's being delivered to
Right.
you through media.
Right. But even then, it's not even a very well hidden metaphor. So if you look at a monster movie,
Godzilla?
Godzilla,
King Kong?
King Kong,
Mothra.
Mothra.
Well, it'd be Godzilla versus Mothra.
yeah. Frankenstein, Dracula, all these
Wolfman.
any true classic monster film. All right, the monster is not really the villain.
No.
The monsters are
Like King Kong, he should never been taken out of his island.
the monster is always more of a tragic
Story.
figure,
Even Son
right?
of Kong, even
Misunderstood. I mean, King Kong was King Kong.
Even Disney with Beauty
King
and the
Kong,
Beast.
happy on his island,
Yeah, he was the king.
he's chilling,
Getting sacrificed, getting sacrifices.
eating a lizard every now and then, right? And then they
human?
take him, and he, of course he goes crazy in New York City and kills a bunch of people. You took him away from home, and he goes nuts. Godzilla's just out chilling in the ocean
No, he was
Eating some
protecting
fish.
Japan when he was going after Mothra.
when he was going after Mothra. But in general, Godzilla just chilling in the ocean, eating some fish. Godzilla, tragic figure. A result of nuclear testing.
So
The Elephant Man.
So what do you think of like people like
Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter? Is he the monster?
Hannibal, no, actually he wasn't. Hannibal Lecter was not the villain in The Silence of the Lambs.
It was who was it?
Buffalo Bill was the villain.
No, I said what about Hannibal Lecter. I didn't say what about Silence of the Lambs.
Right, but Hannibal Lecter's not the villain.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
How he's fucking eating people.
it's also not a monster movie.
So, but
I said monster movie. I said monsters
you
were
did,
tragic
and I
figures.
flipped it into
Right.
something.
Okay, but what about the Elephant Man?
Elephant Man, not technically a horror film. It's an autobiography, or it's a biographical movie.
But you were afraid.
That man, as a little kid,
But he
yeah,
was a
he
monster.
scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, but he looked.
He's not a
He
monster.
looked
You know what else he wasn't?
an animal.
An animal.
Yeah, I get it.
If
I get it.
If
I'm
you
trying to
take
steer you
away
to something,
all
never
the,
mind. Some
all
other time.
the imaginative monsters that are born of like nuclear, tragic, toxic waste,
Mm-hmm.
you take away the
Two-headed shark.
Toxic Avenger.
the inflated, impossible type of villains, and you hone it down to actual, something that you would find in maybe like the American Journal of like Psychology or something, and have a real person, like
But-
Ed Gein, for example. Like how would that like scare people? Because you put that into a horror movie or an experience, that was something that actually happened.
But first,
Like Jeffrey Dahmer.
wait. First, what I said.
Would
Wait,
would he be a monster?
wait. First, talking about movies, and what I said was monster movies.
Jeffrey Dahmer's a monster.
Wait, Jeffrey Dahmer was a real person. I said monster movies. Silence of the Lambs, while technically in the horror genre, is not a monster movie.
The dude's a monster.
Silence of the Lambs is a psychological thriller. It comes with a whole different set of criteria and rules. And Hannibal Lecter, while technically a psychopath, eats people, likes to fry up brains, is not the villain of the movie.
How can that be?
Because he's
Doesn't
not.
mean he's not a monster in the movie, though.
Thank you very much. This is what I've been
Because
trying to steer him to the whole
He
fucking
cut that
time.
guy's face off, man.
I think
But see,
they're
Hannibal
missing the point.
Lecter is an
I get your
educated
point.
psychologist,
Yeah.
extremely intelligent, and he knows what he can do and get away with it to feed his own soul
No, he
and
wasn't
his
a
own
monster.
darkness.
But he's not.
He's a well-coiffed person.
He's a
Ooh.
meta. Okay. Let me wait.
She's not the magic word. Ah!
He's a okay. He's a metaphorical monster. Okay.
Sure, I'll
But-
buy that.
but he's
you
not-
know what? You know
he's
what?
not
I gotta
Godzilla.
but I gotta be honest with you. Godzilla's fake. So's King Kong.
So's Hannibal Lecter.
But Jeffrey Dahmer isn't.
No.
So I'm trying to get you into Jeffrey Dahmer.
So you want to hear something crazy?
You're ignoring what I'm
I'm talking,
doing.
but I'm talking about movies you're bringing in reality. I'm talking about
Well,
metaphors
yeah.
in
Yeah,
movies.
so let me bring in a little piece of weird reality. In college, I would read the news on the morning college campus radio station. I was a radio DJ in college. So I had to pull things off of the AP Wire to read. And I am like, oh, this sounds good. Some guy who had a previous job in a chocolate factory was found with body parts in his. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll read this. So I read all about the news, the whole release of the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, not realizing the bigger picture on this, other than, well, this is kind of a creepy ass cool story. I'm gonna read this.
Did you hear about Crumble Cookie?
But
Is there chocolate in it?
I heard that there was.
he worked in a chocolate factory.
Yes.
I thought he worked in beer, like a beer place. Like a beer place.
He worked at a delicatessen too.
Oh, that's how he knew how to take care of the meat.
Yes.
I
He
think
learned
there's.
butchering techniques.
You know what I think it is? I think there's something in the water.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee water.
But
Milwaukee
you know
water.
what though? He didn't live just exclusively in
No, he was from
Wisconsin.
further. Wasn't he from? He was from further north, right?
Ohio,
Okay,
I'd buy that.
maybe.
but you know what? Like Ed Gein, right? Is from the Fox Valley area. Okay, I know some people from the Fox Valley area who I could totally see like making cereal bowls out of skulls all day long, and not even thinking that it's weird. And I think there's something in the water up there.
Is that expectation?
No, hypotheses.
Or is that just genetic breeding?
Could be.
It's a shallow pool.
Have you seen? It's on one of the streaming services with Zach Bagans and his museum of haunted material, haunted artifacts, and he has. I think it's the big cooking cauldron from Ed Gein in there, and they interviewed people that were connected with that. So that's another, connection to your spirit world.
I'm not cool with the spirit world. I mean, let me be clear, because I don't want none of them watching us and they being angry with me. Okay, I don't got a problem with them. I'll stay in my lane.
Oh, you're worried about the spirits being angry for what you said.
I don't want spirits coming after me, man. Them fuckers are mean.
I think I think you're using the spirit world as a generalization because,
I very well may be. I'm not denying that, but the whole thing, it's just not my thing, man.
That's okay.
It's just not my thing. Oh, I know it's okay. I've made it this far, but since we're talking about this stuff, I figured I'd have a little
Don't
confession.
let him goad you into something different.
Oh no, I'm open. I'm an open book, and I'm confessing here that the spirit world, there's no room for Jimmy in there, man. Freaks me out.
Well, they're making room for you when you hit a magic number and you.
I wouldn't mind being there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being there, but then, not now. Let's be cool. So I see it.
And you don't like clowns?
I have a problem with clowns.
No.
No.
Some people have a problem with clowns.
But like paintings on walls? Do you ever see paintings on walls?
Ooh, what is the phobia of spirits? What's that called?
Fear.
There's an answer somewhere.
See, if I was Jimmy, I would just be talking to my computer.
Hey, Google.
No, I hate that.
I embrace the technology. It talks back sometimes, but you gotta embrace it. What is it there, psycho?
Hold on. I did something bad.
Uh-oh. See, now if he would have spoke to his computer, everything would have been fine. So, while he looks at that, tell us about some photography stuff.
Oh yeah, I got a big photo shoot coming up in November. I'm hoping that you will be at.
Step right in there one, didn't you, fucker?
Oh, my camera's not working. Okay, Jimmy, I'll give you a camera. Oh shit, what do I do now?
For those of you who didn't know, because he never really brings it up, Jimmy also, quite the amateur shutterbug. Award-winning, I've seen.
I've been lucky.
Yeah.
I've been lucky.
A persistent fear of ghosts is sometimes called phasmophobia.
Phas?
Yeah,
It
with a
has
PH.
nothing to do with spirits.
Well,
Phantasm.
Phantasm. Exactly. Thank you, Gwen. Phantasm.
Isn't that a Disney movie?
No, that's Fantasia.
Fantasia.
Yeah, with the dancing hippos.
What'd you think of Phantasm? The first movie. That actually
Oh,
freaked
you ever
me
seen-
out.
no?
That kind of freaked me out. Like
I
the
tell you-
little compressed people.
Yeah. So were they? I don't
Okay,
think they
hey,
were compressed.
what about this?
I think
Is
they were
Willy
dehydrated.
Is Willy Wonka?
No, the pressure, the gravity and pressure was different in that world. So they were like,
Right, but weren't they? Like, wasn't there something extracted from them as well?
There's another one. Look at that.
I don't remember that.
I tell you what, the first thing I did after seeing Phantasm was try to get a chrome ball and put blades on it.
I swore,
I was-
Suck it through a hose.
I was already at that point.
I swore off ice cream trucks.
I was already at that point of like, oh, I wonder if I could build that. Would it fly? The bad guy had this like weird chrome ball.
I tell you what, it got me interested in was embalming. I wanted to know more.
Embalming?
Yeah, that movie
I'm there-
got me interested in that.
I will not be embalmed. What a worthless process.
Well,
I can
it's-
never do that, man. I mean,
But you know what? It's actually carcinogenic to the earth too.
That's right, you don't want to give the earth cancer.
Even,
it has cancer.
Even cremating
It's
your
called
body, the pollutants from cremating your body are horrible.
That's an old Viking thing.
The Viking funeral that you're speaking of?
Yeah.
The funeral
I can't
industry.
stretch my arm out. I can't activate. I can't open my arm.
Flaming arrow. Yeah. Yes, actually, the funeral industry is a big ass fucking scam. When I die, no embalming, just fucking throw me in a hole. No coffin. No. If you really
That's
want
legal.
a cardboard box or a bag,
Balsa wood.
no, it would just like something that'll like rot right away. So a cardboard box
So
or
did you know that
piece of
there's a
cloth.
place not far from us at the Farley Center between Mount Horeb and Verona that you can buy a plot there and be buried naturally and you just decompose.
as nature intended.
Yes. And it's legal in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You can, your loved ones can actually take care of your body and sit with your body for the amount of time you need, and then it's transported there. There's a few permits you have to do, but the funeral industry has to not have to do their thing.
$3,000, $10,000 coffins. I've seen them that high.
Yeah, and the cement lining that they say you have to have so you
Yep.
don't leak.
Crypt.
It's really just landscaping. It's just really original landscaping.
They have to put you in a crypt.
So do your homework before you die.
No coffins, people. Funeral industry's a scam.
Yeah, kind of is.
When you die, I'm gonna.
But if you would
Destroy
like
out
me
in the
to
backyard.
embalm you in white winter meat, I will.
I probably will be, because I am a self-proclaimed Mito. Wow.
I think Jimmy's speechless.
I think you blew
Don't
your
forget a head box. You gotta pay extra for that. So you
Headstones?
Zombie?
Have you seen 28 Days Later?
Yeah.
Not a zombie movie.
So what happens?
What I was quoting was the movie, what is it, Sid Fido? With Billy Connolly? Don't forget
Yeah.
to have a head box.
Yep.
Yeah, but that just kind of led me to that because so my husband and I watched that movie in the theater, and as we were coming out, people were walking past, and I was just like taken away because to me it was all about humanity and the expectations of loving thy neighbor and all this stuff was totally burst. Like they were out for themselves. And as we were leaving, there was a gentleman who was much older than us who fell, couldn't walk, and no one was helping them, and they're all rushing past him in the theater.
Why?
Because they're like in their own world, they're mindless, and they are not observant.
This is real life.
Real
Yeah,
life.
that was the humanity thing that because she was
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard
drawing
that.
parallels
So,
with
you know,
people filming.
Kirk helped the man up. And as we're leaving, we're like, God, humans suck.
Maybe we should all be zombies.
Maybe
By the
we
way,
shouldn't have expectations.
Fear of
about
zombies is called
Zombophobia.
kinemortophobia.
Can you see how that's spelled?
Kinemort. Ophobia.
Okay, so M-O-R-T means death.
Right? A fear. It's Spanish. It's Latin. Morte.
Morte.
Okay?
Yeah.
Was it a gladiator?
Isn't that Spanish? That Latin?
Well, Spanish is muerto,
Uh-huh.
but Spanish is a Latin derivative.
Really?
The Spanish language is derived from Latin.
Hep, hep.
And did
So-
you know that a bunch of scientific terms like the taxonomy of plants and insects and all that good stuff is Latin-based too?
Oh, look at that. Somebody's
enough.
flexing some shit over
You
here.
know, for such a dead
I might
language,
as well.
it certainly is still everywhere.
Right?
It's a dead language. No, it fucking isn't.
Cannabis sativa, Latin.
Huh?
Yep. God bless.
What's cannabis sativa? Kinemortophobia, or fear of zombies. Surprisingly common, zombies play a major role in horror fiction from novels to Hollywood. Films are a staple at most major Halloween events.
Is it true that if you put a moat of mulch around your house, zombies can't get to it?
Sure.
Why? Explain that one.
Mulch?
Mulch.
Like tree bark?
Yeah.
Well, what kind of fungus are you growing in that tree bark to repel them?
No, it's not repelling them. Like they can't walk through it because
Okay, now wait a minute. What kind of zombie?
I'm just asking questions.
Wait.
Because there's zombies that crawl.
Okay,
So when it falls down, it can just crawl.
okay, now wait a
So
minute.
how thick is your mulch
Like,
line?
well, hold on.
deep?
Now. My thought behind the best zombie weapon would be a shotgun. Judd informed me how grossly wrong I am.
Yeah,
Because you're making noise.
and you're gonna run out of ammunition.
And you're attracting more.
Yeah.
So silence and stealth is the best weapon.
If you're gonna hole up in your house, what you would need to do is, you know those things that they put in those survival camp things where you can saw? What are those gratchets or those steel wire?
A pole saw, a garrote wire.
Garrote wire.
Okay.
Garrote wire around your property. It's
Oh, wait.
silent.
You're not
and
thinking about garrote wire.
What am I thinking of?
A garrote wire. Let me tell you about garrote wire. What you want to do is you take it's like a piano wire, right? You're gonna wrap it around with a little handle on each side. You're gonna pull it tight. That's what you do when you're cutting off. That's for killing. That's an assassination tool.
Yes, but you see it in camp survival kits.
Yeah, but
too.
it's
To,
that's
like-
a
Well,
pull
yeah,
saw.
yeah,
But
that's
that's a pull saw.
Right,
Okay.
that's for cutting.
A garrote wire is just for killing something. It's not sharp.
So there's gotta be something that's like it though that you can, and it's not razor wire.
And what's that? But it won't, I mean...
But a pull saw is not going to just by them walking into it's not going to cut them
Yeah.
up either.
But there's gotta
a
be
pull
something
saw is
like that.
Well, the best.
Stealth.
See again, what kind of zombie are we talking about? Are we talking about a viral zombie from fucking James Brooks? Are we talking about a James Brooks viral zombie? Are we talking about a George Romero undead zombie? Are we talking? What kind of zombie are we talking about?
You want me to tell you?
Tell me.
I don't fucking know. To me,
Okay.
zombies are zombies.
Okay,
are
here's the
zombies are
thing.
zombies.
Here's the thing. The viral zombie attacks in hordes and waves. So no matter what you put in front of you, if it's like a wave of water. Eventually, the water is going to go over. and
That's
consume-
like that movie with Brad Pitt, Z, Generation
World War
World War Z.
World War Z.
Whereas if you had a undead zombie like a George Romero zombie, that's just more of an ambulatory corpse. I can understand how the mulch would stop them because it's very soft and they'd step in and fall over. And it might not stop them, but it'll at least slow them down. The best defense against that kind of zombie would be a large cavernous moat. If you were, that would be the best offensive defense.
What if it was a drought season?
Well, you still have a big chasm. You'd still have a big, like, crevasse. That they would just fall into. No,
Crevasse.
No,
crevasse.
it would just be a
Crevasse.
ditch that you'd have to flip them out of, and they
No,
would
'cause they would
They
just
just
fall
fall
in.
in there.
But if they were viral zombies, like
They
James,
would
like James
fall
Brooks,
enough of them would fall
eventually
in and
they
fill it
would
up.
like make their own bridge,
And walk right over.
and right over the top they would come, and it would take no time at all
Because they come in waves.
because they come in waves.
See,
exactly.
I pay attention.
It's a virus. Whereas the zombies are attracted to noise and motion, they would just kind of fall in, and eventually they'd lose interest.
Oh my god,
Wilson
now I
Rose.
want to know if you're Team Edward or Team Lost Boys.
Oh, totally fucking Team Lost Boys. Edward can suck my...
Edward Scissorhands?
Edward can suck my sparkling in the sun dick.
Is it Scissorhands?
I'm
No,
glad that you don't know what I'm talking
You're
about.
not even close.
Is that the one that the girl falls in love with?
Yeah,
the high school girl?
fucking... What's the name of that dumbass series? Twilight, thank you.
Oh, no, I was talking about something even different. Oh, really?
No, you were talking about Twilight. You just didn't know you were talking about Twilight.
No.
Because the girl does fall in love. Like one guy's a werewolf, the other one's a
Yeah,
vampire.
I wasn't talking
That's
about
Twilight.
that. I wasn't talking about that.
What
Isn't
were
there
you
another
talking about?
movie where maybe it's a girl that's a zombie and the guy falls in love with her? He's in like high school?
Oh, no, you're talking about Warm Bodies. The dude is a vampire, and the girl...
No, one's a zombie.
The dude's a zombie. Yeah, the dude's a zombie, and the girl is alive. And this is after a zombie apocalypse. And the dude is like coming back from being a zombie. Is that what you're talking about?
Something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's Warm Bodies.
I never watched it.
Once again, that would be a horror comedy. It is a funny movie. It's a good movie. If you want to like light horror comedy, definitely put it on the list because it is. I mean, Woody Harrelson's in it, and some fine young actors whose names escape me at the moment. Zombieland.
That would be
Also
a horror
good
comedy?
with Woody Harrelson. That would also be a horror comedy. Now, zombies are an interesting horror. What? You knew where I was going? Did you know I was going to do something? See, he recognizes my speech patterns. Whenever I say now, it means I'm about to pontificate.
So that
Go.
means that he has an expectation of your
No, I don't have an
pontification.
expectation. I read the book.
He read the book and saw the movie. Bought the t-shirt.
Book t-shirt.
Got the collector cup.
Been there, done that.
Please proceed.
The cool thing about zombies in horror is that you can project onto the zombies any crisis that you wish. Any social crisis in the world, in history, can be represented by zombies. George Romero, Return of the Living Dead. Or I'm sorry, Night of the Living Dead. Original Night of the Living Dead. The zombies are a representation of communism.
They all go back to a familiar place. The mall.
No, I'm sorry. No. That was
Okay.
Return of the Living
it
Dead.
is Return.
No,
I got
I'm
it,
sorry.
I got it.
That was Dawn of the Dead, not Night of the Living, or not Night of the Living Dead.
I can't remember.
There's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead,
No, he's not
World of
dead.
the
He
Dead,
just drank too much.
all that stuff. But the zombies in Night of the Living Dead were intended to be a metaphor for communism. If you think about the time the movie was written, time was when it was filmed, the time it was produced, the big encroaching terror was communism. The McCarthy hearings, all that kind of stuff, right? So here you have this horde of people that come in to an area and convert everybody in the area and then move on to the next area and convert
Maybe
them.
it's very Star Trek and it's like the Borg.
Move on and on. The Borg are technically zombies. That's a very astute observation.
So I'm thinking that
That's why I don't wear red shirts, by the way.
we talked about like our first horror movie. Is there
Timmy did it again. He did a red shirt reference.
Is there a specific horror scene in a movie or a book that totally got to you, that was just over the top, too much for you?
No, because I don't watch that shit. And I don't read that shit. But Amityville Horror, of course, the room with all the flies. Carrie at the end when she's hanging from the fucking ceiling. Or floating, whatever the frig it is. There was that movie, we briefly talked about it outside. She got the blood all over and shit. We briefly talked about it outside when they pulled that car out of the lake.
Yeah, the ghost story.
Ghost story.
It was written by Peter Straub.
And the bodies in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that freaked me to frig out. But Ghostbusters never bothered me.
Wow.
Yeah, you are.
And let's move on to Sid. What was your... what about you?
Okay, the ghost in the basement of the library, like, startled me the first time I saw it. All right, I'll give you that. When I saw it in the theater, like, holy shit! In the basement of the library, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Ah, first scene. Yeah. So I'm a big Stephen King. I like Stephen King novels. I know it's kind of cliche and a little trite.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever. I like Stephen King. Not during his painkiller drug.
I'm eating those.
Not during his painkiller drug phase when like toasters were coming to life and shit. Although Maximum Overdrive is a great movie.
I haven't seen it.
When in the book, when what the hell? What's the girl's name?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I know the dude is Pennywise, right?
Yeah, the clown is Pennywise. When she goes to her old house in Derry, and just knocks on the door, and she ends up visiting with the woman inside, and it's in the book. The woman, turns out that the woman, nothing is actually happening. It's all like in the horror universe, but the woman ends up being the son or the daughter of a circus performer who was Pennywise the Clown. So there's the connection to the it that comes from space. I don't want to get into the whole metaphysics of the book, but when the woman, when the apartment transforms around her as an adult, I remember
Apartment turns into an adult.
no, the apartment changes around her. The woman changes. The woman that lives there changes. It starts out as a very innocent scene. Scene because it was in the movie as well. But it starts out as a very innocent part of the book. She went to her old house. She knocked on the door. An old woman answered. She goes in. She visits with the old woman. She has tea. The woman brings her cookies. Yada yada yada.
Did she know the old woman?
No, she just happens to be there because that's where she lived when she was a child.
So she goes back down memory lane.
Kind of. Yeah.
Knocks on the door.
Knocks on the door.
Hey, I used to live here. My name's Michelle.
Yeah. And then the whole thing changes around her, and the woman turns into a thing, and it all gets very fucked up. I remember reading that, and I wasn't expecting that to happen. Like, I thought it was going to be a very, like, glaze over that portion. It's just kind of an extra piece. But when everything changed around her, I remember thinking, all right, fuck that. I wasn't expecting that. That, and then again in another Stephen King novel, Carrie, when he's pushing the car backwards through the junkyard to make it newer, and the car and the old man are actually one and the same, and he's like, all of a sudden he's got a back brace. If you ever read the novel Christine, you'd understand what I was talking about.
Isn't that the car?
Yeah, but that part wasn't in the movie. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Defecated on my fucking dash.
Yeah, that was it. But there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's even characters in the book that they took and like smashed together and made one single character. Remember the old man with the back brace in the movie? Okay, that guy actually has a brother.
That guy was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off too.
He was. In the movie, the old man with the back brace
I watched that.
tells the story of his brother who owned the car.
Right. Now see, I wasn't scared of Christine.
Right. But in the book, the old man with the back brace is the owner of the car, and he's dead. And Cunningham goes and talks to his brother at the dude's funeral. And his brother is just like normal dude. He's like, well, let me tell you about my brother, and blah, 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 blah. So they did this whole like thing, and I remember seeing the movie first and thinking, why is it not quite making sense, and then reading the book and be like, oh, now it makes sense to do the back brace, pushing the car, and there's like, what's the matter with your back, bud? It's creepy. It's a good read. I mean,
Wasn't the other dude named Spider with the broken leg? Wasn't that his buddy's name, Spider? Wasn't his buddy's name Spider?
No.
I thought it was.
No, I think so.
For me, reading Salem's Lot in high school, I lived out in
Another great Stephen King
I
novel.
lived out in a rural area. No streetlights, no nothing. It was so dark where I lived, you could see the stars beautifully, okay? And you would hear things like the raccoons fighting and mating, that shrill sound. Well, it's in the middle of summer,
Raccoons
right?
shrill when they mate?
They do.
They do. They scream. You swear there is someone getting attacked.
Sounds like a death whistle.
Yeah.
Really? When
It's
they're
bad.
mating?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are those guys hung?
I don't think I really ever took the time to look.
I'm just
It
asking.
sounds like they're fighting.
It's an innocent question.
Have you ever smelled mothballs?
Raccoons
I
like
have.
raccoons
How'd
like
you
a
get your
rock.
little legs apart?
Walked into that one. So fucking stupid I am.
Raccoons like rough.
I think they have little barbs on there.
They're
Something
probably
like that.
clawing because they have thumbs.
No, like they're
So
red
it's probably, like,
rockets
pulling on
actually
the
have
ears.
barbs.
Smacking it.
But what happened was because it was hot in June
Okay,
and the
I'm
windows
sorry.
open and I got one light right here so I could read this book. The June bugs are smacking up against the hard aluminum screen, like jumping. And I remember getting to the part where they went in the basement and the stairs are sawed off and all the stakes are on the bottom of the basement. Like that part. And oh, I remember that one freaking me out.
Play with us, Tommy.
But there is,
play with us.
and I think it's an old movie, Luciano movie.
A what?
Luciano. It's an Italian movie. It's an old horror movie. And the person looks through the keyhole of the door, and a big old slivered piece of wood goes right into their eye. That will forever
Burn in your
scar
brain?
me. Yes.
See now you're talking about imagery in movies.
What about like Final Destination?
I would almost put Final Destination in the horror comedy.
That's a
section.
spirit world shit though to me, man.
No.
Yeah.
No. Fate and spirit world, two different things.
Yeah. See, but she's talking about imagery, like,
But if you do good by the spirits, they'll help you with your fate, no?
Oh, you and I need to have one talk, like some other time.
you ever seen the movie Jacob's Ladder?
Yes.
Okay.
I remember
When
the
she walks
Huey
by
Lewis-
and the
I remember
dude,
the Huey Lewis
Yes.
and
the
the
dude's
song.
banging his head on the
Yes.
glass window, and he's been banging it there for so long that it's a bloody stump. That freaked me the fuck out. It just the image of this dude has been standing there for so long, and not even hard, just like. But he's been doing it for so long that it is worn through the flesh on his forehead, and he's now banging raw skull
Oh, keep going.
onto the window.
We're gonna have Sid do this for the rest of the show.
But see, there you're talking about imagery in a movie as opposed to words on a page.
Well, right, and so that's like the
Well, fuck me
cinematography that goes with it, and the whole, yeah.
So
yeah.
the scariest thing I think the scariest thing I ever read in a book, because I'm mildly claustrophobic. So in the book, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, when they're basically when
Now,
the
how's that a horror movie?
wait, I didn't say it was a horror movie or a horror novel. I said the scariest thing I ever read in a book.
Because he's mildly claustrophobic.
Because I'm mildly claustrophobic. There's a point where they're pushing through an ice pack. Have you ever read 20,000 Leagues Under the
I
Sea?
watched the movie. I was done in 2 hours.
In and out, 2 hours.
Have you ever read 20,000 Leagues Under the
Yes,
Sea?
I have.
You.
So when they're pushing through the ice pack and the Nautilus gets frozen, gets stuck in the ice, and he's got his guys out there like melting the ice, trying to get the sub free, and the oxygen is running out because they only have so much oxygen contained in the sub. So they're stuck. The sub is stuck in the ice, and they're struggling to move the sub back and forth and run the batteries and melt enough ice to get pushed through into the surface. It's a very long section of it's in that how do I say this?
They draw it
It's
out
a-
enough that the tension builds.
Exactly. It's drawn out. The way it's
To a
written is
crescendo?
drawn way out. Like
Crescendo.
as you're reading, you're like, God, any second they're gonna break loose.
They're gonna die.
No, they're gonna break loose because you're waiting for them to break loose.
Okay.
So any second you're willing, like they're gonna break. We're still stuck in the ice. We're still trying to melt the ice, but as the ice is melting, what's it doing? As they're making water in the ice pack, what's it doing? It's refreezing. So there's like constant struggle against the ice to get it melted to move, but then while they melt it, it's still freezing. It's very suspenseful filled piece of the book. I'm just saying. That's probably the scariest thing I ever read in a book, and that wasn't even a horror book. It wasn't even a horror novel.
Thank you for sharing.
Saying.
Thank you.
I got stuck upside down once in a crate. It's just terrifying.
I put myself in a dryer once.
How the hell did that ever happen?
That's a long story too. And
Did I tell you he built a pretty good crate too?
I do build a pretty good crate.
Like The Collector. You ever see the movie The Collector in the
No.
collection?
Oh, that's good stuff.
No.
You mean Bone Collector?
No, The Collector.
What does he collect?
The premise is it's the movie kind of starts off where someone's in a box and they open the box and there's a person in there and then they're the next person to go in this box. So it's like this trap thing. But when you get done watching this whole movie, you realize that it's pretty much a home invasion, and it's screwed up. Just watch The Collector, and then The Collection is the one after it. So the one that ends up in the box at the end of The Collector is the cautionary tale for everybody in the next movie.
There you go.
But he collects bodies.
It's
The
Yes.
whole body, not just parts of the body.
No,
psychological.
the whole body. Yeah. And he has a thing about perfection. So if he knows that you have an imperfection,
He won't touch you
well, he'll just kill you if he's got you.
and leave you somewhere else. But he won't bring you back and put you on the shelf.
Pretty much. It's worth a watch.
So like Amy?
the first time Kirk and I were watching it in our home, and the boys were probably like 4, and they had flashlights right in their room, and so we're watching this movie, and there was a very succinct, like, kismet moment of the crescendo, and the kids are like whipped their flashlights out at us and made all these noises. We jumped. But The Collector, yeah, watch it, check it out,
All right.
move it up.
You know, I wish we were paying attention because we got a lot of people
Are
here.
people
man.
chiming in?
Yeah, we got.
I knew we had a good topic.
We got Dan Mayhew. What's up, Dan? We got Brian. We got a few people in here, so thank you guys for watching, man. That's super cool. We need a producer, so one of you guys can come by and actually pay attention to these comments and answer them for us. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be cool.
That would be cool because
Do
we
we
want to
have
be.
any questions
Wouldn't
or
that be great?
weigh-ins
Any-
on?
We want to be more.
questions?
I can't read because I don't. Here's my glasses.
Put your glasses on.
Do you want to buy
I
mine?
can't read.
I can't read.
That's right. He watches the movie because he's in and out in 2 hours.
It really did, though. It scared the hell out of me. I felt it. Like, I mean, obviously, I know they're going to get out, and that's the same kind of thing we were talking about before with like
Well, that.
haunted attractions. You know you're going to
So
be
that's
okay.
the thing. That's the difference between a book and a movie. Is in a book you can really draw that suspense out, and in a movie you have to do it differently.
All right, no questions, just comments. Somebody said, aren't they all monsters to civilized society without fangs and fur and furry faces? Can we all agree Zombieland was amazing?
Right. But I was talking about monsters.
And zombies voted.
I was talking about actual monsters as a tragic figure. The werewolf. The guy doesn't want to be a werewolf.
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't want to
these
kill
are
people.
fictional characters. What about real life monsters like fucking Dahmer?
Those-
Wouldn't you consider that prick a monster?
Okay, but that guy does not have claws and fangs. I'm talking about a claws and fangs, fur, tongue, howling at the moon, coming out at night,
They're
bolts
fake.
in his neck.
They're-
Yes, they're fake. They're metaphors.
How's that bother you?
They're fucking metaphors. They don't bother me. They're tragic figures.
Hold on.
Dahmer is a monster, yes, but not because you're not getting the point of what I'm trying to say.
No, you're
I'm
not getting my point.
I'm talking about monster movies.
Hey, Jimmy.
I'm talking about monster fucking
Is that a
movies.
metaphor in your pocket there?
No, this is my.
So he's just happy to see you.
This is my Sunday corsage. We went out for Bloody Marys today,
Jesus.
and I've been
Because
pulling this
really,
thing
my
around all
eyes
day.
are just. I keep going.
It's a
to
delicious
that.
meat stick, I'll admit.
It's just like kind of hugging up into your beard.
And in
a
my
little
beard,
bit.
I think the side of my beard has a little fray. Here, Sid, smell that. What's that smell like?
Oh, the sausage.
You're secure enough. No? You scared? Come on,
I
get
can
in there.
smell it from here.
Does it smell like it? I'll put my corsage back where it was.
I was talking about monsters. Literary monsters. Not literal monsters. Literary monsters.
Do you want to tell him we heard him
As
the first
tragic
time or
figures.
Pardon?
Not? You want to tell him we heard him the first time?
I did hear him the first time.
Yeah.
Well, you keep talking about Dahmer as
Because
a
you
monster.
were fucking getting my side.
I was, but
But
you
then you're
were
going to yell at me.
I was getting your side, but you kept missing my point.
I know, I got your
Monster
point. I
movies.
understood your point.
Monster movies.
Completely understood your
All right.
point.
You know what? We should probably
Dad jokes?
think about wrapping it up with some dad jokes.
Dad jokes?
Yeah.
And a mom joke.
Did you have something else to add? We'll
No.
certainly keep
I'm
going.
saying I got a dad joke.
You got your own dad joke?
Please.
We read ours
Lay it
from
out.
class. Let us have it.
Do you think the jellyfish is really sad? Because there's no peanut butter fish?
Whoa!
No,
There's
that's cute.
there's no peanut butter fish.
That's
That's
cute.
cute.
That's cute.
I don't know if I call that a dad joke.
I'd call it a cute joke.
Definitely corny.
Dad jokes are corny.
They are.
Is that literary or literal?
I'm sorry,
like
did
saying
you
the
have
chick across the
expectations
road.
of
All
me?
right. Get the cup. Get the cup.
Yes, I had expectations of all of this.
Look
By
at
the
that.
way,
Rowan's note keeps popping out.
and it says,
Oh, you can't come up with your own dad jokes?
There's so many. This is just easier for us.
"This is just this."
Mine
is just
was
a thing."
authentic.
Oh, these are authentic
Absolutely.
jokes. Right.
Even Tim's tapping out. Look at that.
Okay. What did the cake say to the knife? You're gonna like this one.
You want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? You want? I'm looking over here too. See that? I did it too. You want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? Go ahead, hit
As in
me.
taxi.
Hit me.
Talking to me.
Actually, that was you talking to me, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, that's what you said.
Taxi
That's what you
driver.
said. Yeah, too busy
You-
talking.
you
not
talking to
listening.
me.
Yeah.
I don't see nobody
I
else
am.
here.
Yeah.
Go
All
ahead.
right, here we go. I really wanted a camouflage shirt,
Yeah.
but I couldn't find one.
All right, that's a dad joke.
All right, I
That's
get
a
it.
definite
I get it.
dad
I
joke.
get it. I get it. I get it. Getting paid to sleep would be my dream job.
That's a good one.
If I dream job.
Yeah, I get it.
Sleeping.
I get it. Good point.
Okay.
Good
Last
point.
one. Go
Last
ahead.
one. Here we go. Why did the Can Crusher quit his job?
Why did the Can Crusher quit his job?
I want to know.
Anybody? Anybody?
I got nothing. Go ahead.
Because it was so depressing.
Soda pressing. I get it. Soda pressing.
In the
That was
literal sense.
horrible.
In the literal sense, Gwyn, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming tonight.
so much
It
for
was
coming
great.
hanging with us,
Appreciate
Glenn.
your opinion. Appreciate everything. Appreciate you bringing the smarts to these two guys. Big ups
White
to the
Winter
Graham.
Riders, go get some mead. Drink your mead. White Winter.
WhiteWinter.com.
Feed the dog.
Promo code 15% off.
15%.
Ben's rocking us out of here, ladies and
Ben's out.
gentlemen, boys and girls. Deuces.
Good night.